I'm Dr. Duncan, Director of Fine Arts at Galveston Independent School District. And I'd like to take a moment to share with you today one of the things I learned as a little kid that I still play. It's called the Maori stick game. Now the Maori lived in the Pacific Islands, and it's a long way between one place and another, one island and another. And to go visit Grandma, sometimes it means you have to get in the boat and sail there. And the Maori were famous for their long canoes, and in their long canoes, they would paddle over one side. They were outrigger canoes, so they'd paddle over one side. One person sitting right behind the other, and if you don't paddle at the same time, well, if you do paddle at the same time, your paddles move like this. But if you don't, you can end up with paddles that hit one another, and the movement's just not as good. So the Maori needed some way to teach children how to be in time with one another so that they could work that together. And it turns out they developed a whole series of games based on sticks that used simple melodies to get a 3/4 time. Works like this. Makawe koto we kuhitana, makawe koto we kuhitana. When everyone pushes at the same time in each measure, the boat goes just fine. Well, you didn't want to take the kids out there and just start them in the boat, because that's a real problem, so you started them with a stick or two. I have 2 drumsticks here, but we can use Lummi sticks, brightly colored sticks. They need to be a little long and a little heavy so you can have some fun with them. The first thing to do is simply to find where the measure goes. Makawe koto we kuhitana, makawe koto we kuhitana. Sometimes little kids find that a lot easier if you go 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and hold them up nice and high. Makawe koto we kuhitana, makawe koto we kuhitana. Now, of course, if I was doing this in a regular classroom, I'd be sitting squat on the floor with all of the kids. We'd start out in one big circle so that everybody could see everybody, and we'd start adding cute little things to make it a little more interesting. Notice the song doesn't change, but what we do with the sticks can. Once they're comfortable knowing where the measure is, we can go to individual beats in the measure. Makawe koto we kuhitana, makawe koto we kuhitana. Now, so far, I've done exactly the same thing for every measure during the song, and you can do that, and it's not a problem. And as you're starting with your kids, that's probably what you're going to want to do. But you can get to some more interesting things. The one they all want to do, and the one that can be a little bit dangerous, is the flip. Makawe koto we kuhitana, makawe koto we kuhitana. If I was doing this with an early class, kindergartners, first graders, even second graders, I might use one stick, both hands. Makawe koto we kuhitana, makawe koto we kuhitana. Now, you don't have to do the same thing all through the song. You can create a pattern that changes throughout the song. You can create a pattern where you tap in front of you and reach up and tap your neighbors. You can sit in squares of 4, 2 across and 2 across, and do things like toss your sticks to one another. Dangerous, but a lot of fun. Once they get to a point where they really have command over their own muscle movements. Now, that's one of the things our kids don't do nearly as much of as kids used to do in the past, is they don't have that fine muscle coordination with their little fingers and things. So here's a great way of doing that, having some fun, and teaching some Maori culture all at the same time. Makawe koto we kuhitana, makawe koto we kuhitana, makawe koto we kuhitana, makawe koto we kuhitana, makawe koto we kuhitana. kuhitana, makawe koto, we kuhitana, makawe koto, we kuhitana, makawe koto, we kuhitana. Just about anything you can think of that has a strong first and a second and third beat in the measure that can be done with the sticks can be done by the children. You can cross your arms without making any sounds. Makawe koto, we kuhitana, makawe koto, we kuhitana. And you're still getting that idea that the Maori so desperately needed. Stroke, 2, 3, stroke, 2, 3. Everyone paddle together. There might be 100 people in the king's canoe back in the day. So the Maori stick game, it's a fun little game. I started playing it when I was in the 2nd grade with my music teacher, Mrs. Minyard, and I played that all the way through the 6th grade when I was in elementary school. Came back to it when I was in college and used it wonderfully when I was teaching elementary school. So hopefully you'll have some fun with it as well. The Maori stick game or the Lummi stick game.